Ransom E. Olds started his car company in 1897, but he'd been playing around with cars for years before that. He was also his own company's best test driver. In 1904, he ran a blazing 57 miles per hour on the sand at Daytona Beach in a creation he called the Flyer. In 1914, Olds sold his company to William Durant, and it became part of General Motors. After making several super high-end models, Oldsmobile settled into its niche as a popular priced car, less expensive than Buick or Cadillac, but upmarket from Chevrolet. Life was good in Lansing, Michigan, and Olds prospered, making quality cars for the middle class. Coming out of World War II, there were nearly a dozen car makers doing business in the United States. GM, Ford, and Chrysler would eventually become the Big Three. But right now, they were fighting with everyone from Studebaker to Hudson to Nash to Henry J. Kaiser for a larger share of the American car market. Fortunately, the demand for new cars was going through the roof. There hadn't been any new cars since 1942, so the car makers were running the lines 24/7 just to keep cars in the showrooms. Most of these new cars were just recycled designs from before the war, but car buyers didn't care. They just wanted a new ride. But after 3 or 4 years of cranking out the same old stuff, some new designs started hitting the street. By 1949, Ford and General Motors had rolled out automobiles that made last year's cars totally obsolete. And by this time, the engine designers were ready to put some real power under the hood.
They all realized that you could get a lot more power out of an engine with high compression, and with the higher octane gas that became available in World War II, they knew it was only a matter of time before it would be out to the consumers. So they wanted to have a modern engine, and you couldn't get that type of compression with a flathead or an L-head type engine.
GM's biggest ticket ride, Cadillac, was the first kid on the block to get a shot of new engineering to go along with its new body. The 1949 Cadillac sported an all-new overhead valve V8 engine, General Motors' first one, and it was a breakthrough in engine design. This 331 cubic inch motor made 160 horsepower and weighed 200 pounds less than the L-head V8 of just 1 year earlier. It was a total revolution in automotive power plants. Like all good revolutions, this one spread like wildfire until it took hold at Oldsmobile. While Ed Cole and his engineering brain trust had been tooling up Cadillac's new motor, the Olds engineers had created another overhead valve V8, just in time for Olds' new Futuramic 1949 models. They called this engine the Rocket.
They didn't really work together, from what I've read. Cadillac even accused Oldsmobile of stealing some of their ideas, but Oldsmobile was always noted in GM with the originator of a lot of technologies.
The Rocket engine measured 303 cubic inches from a 3 3/4 inch bore and a 3 7/16 inch stroke. The new cylinder heads made 7.25 to 1 compression. Induction was handled by a Carter 2-barrel carburetor. The Rocket delivered 135 horsepower and 263 foot-pounds of torque. And there was enough beef in the block and heads to support much higher compression and much higher horsepower.
This looks interesting.
What is it?
It's about the Rocket engine. The Rocket engine is the direct result of the work of Mr. Charles F. Kettering. The research on high-compression engines took more than 30 years. The Rocket engine owes its tremendous power to its high-compression design, plus outstanding mechanical efficiency.
Well, the 303 motor was the first high-compression overhead valve V8 engine on the market, and actually it was a 7.5 to 1 compression ratio, which was quite high at the time, and this is the first car that you had to use high detergent oil in back in those days.
To go with this new engine, Olds had the other ingredient to make a muscle car, the new 88.
What's the matter, Speedy? Got a date with the stork?
We're heading into the future when we come back on the American Muscle Car.